Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I am so excited you're here today because we are about to go on an incredible journey together. We're going to dive deep into the world of some of the most magnificent creatures on the planet. Birds. But not just any birds. We're talking about the giants, the titans, the ones that make you do a double take and say, wait, that's a bird? It's going to be so much fun. I've always been fascinated by animals that are just extra, and these birds are definitely extra. Today we're counting down the top 10 biggest birds on Earth, and trust me when I say you won't believe how massive some of these feathered friends can get. We'll meet a bird that can outrun a horse, one that wears a helmet like a built-in accessory, and another that can fly for years without touching land. It's absolutely wild. Alright, let's kick things off with the heavyweight champion of the bird world, the one, the only, the ostrich. Standing up to 9 feet tall and weighing over 300 pounds, the ostrich is the largest living bird on the planet. They can sprint up to 45 miles per hour. That's faster than a racehorse over a short distance. Their long, powerful legs cover 10 to 16 feet in a single stride. And those legs aren't just for running. A single kick from an ostrich can be powerful enough to fend off predators like lions. So, don't cut them off in traffic. An ostrich's eye is about 2 inches in diameter, which is the largest of any land animal. In fact, their eyes are bigger than their brains. They also lay the largest eggs of any bird, with each one weighing about 3 pounds. That's equivalent to about 2 dozen chicken eggs. Can you imagine making an omelet with that? Next up, we're heading down under to meet Australia's largest native bird, the emu. Now, the emu might look a little like a shaggier, slightly more laid-back cousin of the ostrich. They are the second largest living bird by height, standing up to 6.2 feet tall. They're like the tall, friendly neighbor of the bird world. Emus have a fascinating place in Australian culture and history. They appear on the Australian coat of arms alongside the kangaroo, chosen because neither animal can easily walk backward, symbolizing a nation always moving forward. Have you ever heard of the Great Emu War of 1932? It's a real thing. After World War I, a huge population of emus started damaging crops, so the military was actually sent in to deal with them. And guess what? The emus won! One of the most interesting things about emus is their family life. It's the dad who does all the hard work. After the female lays a clutch of large dark green eggs, she just leaves. The male takes over completely. He incubates the eggs for about 8 weeks, and during that entire time, he barely eats, drinks, or even moves. Once the striped, adorable chicks hatch, he protects them fiercely for up to 7 months. Okay, hold on to your hats, because our next bird is one of the most striking and, let's be honest, intimidating birds on the planet. We're talking about the southern cassowary. Found in the tropical rainforests of northeastern Australia and New Guinea, this bird looks like it walked straight out of the Jurassic period. It has this glossy black plumage, a stunningly vibrant blue and purple neck, and these long red wattles hanging down. But the most distinctive feature is the casque. That's the helmet-like crest on top of its head. It's made of a spongy, keratin-covered material, and for a long time, scientists weren't exactly sure what it was for. Some thought it was for protection as it crashes through the dense undergrowth like a built-in football helmet. Others believed it helped amplify their deep, booming calls. Now, the thinking is that it might also act as a sort of air conditioner. These birds have a reputation for being dangerous, and that reputation is, well, it's earned. Each of their 3-toed feet has a formidable weapon, a 5-inch-long, dagger-like claw on the inner toe. Despite their fearsome reputation, cassowaries play a vital role in their ecosystem. They are known as rainforest gardeners, eating fallen fruit whole and dispersing seeds in their droppings over large areas. You might be thinking, wait, another cassowary? And the answer is yes. Meet the northern cassowary, the slightly smaller but equally stunning cousin of the southern cassowary. The northern cassowary, also known as the single-wattled cassowary, typically has just 1 wattle, or sometimes none, compared to the 2 dangling wattles of its southern relative. While the southern cassowary can be found at higher elevations, the northern cassowary prefers the swampy lowland forests. This preference for remote, inaccessible areas makes them one of the most elusive and least studied of the giant birds. Seeing one in the wild is an incredibly rare and special experience, a glimpse into a hidden world that few people ever get to witness. Let's travel now from the jungles of New Guinea to the wide open grasslands of South America, the Pampas, to meet our next giant, the greater Rhea. Often called the South American ostrich, the Rhea is the largest bird in the Americas. Imagine being a gaucho, a South American cowboy, riding across the vast, grassy plains. You wouldn't be alone. You'd share the landscape with herds of these magnificent birds, moving gracefully across the terrain. They are incredibly agile, capable of running in a zigzag pattern at high speeds to evade predators like pumas. They use their large wings not for flight but as rudders, helping them make sharp turns. It's like watching a feathered sailboat navigate a sea of grass. The social life of the greater Rhea is absolutely fascinating, and it's another case of Dad of the Year. During breeding season, a male Rhea might have a harem of up to a dozen females, all of which will lay their eggs in his nest. This can result in anywhere from 20 to an incredible 80 eggs. After the chicks hatch, he leads his enormous brood around, defending them fiercely until they are old enough to fend for themselves. It's a story of communal living and paternal dedication. Sticking around in South America, we meet the cousin of our last bird, the lesser Rhea. It's also known as Darwin's Rhea, named after Charles Darwin himself, who had quite an adventure trying to document it. What makes the lesser Rhea so remarkable is its adaptability. While its larger cousin prefers the lowland plains, the lesser Rhea is a high-altitude specialist. You can find these hardy birds living in the Altiplano, the high plateaus of the Andes Mountains, at elevations up to 14,000 feet. This is a harsh, cold, and windy environment where few large animals can survive. The lesser Rhea, with its denser, warmer feathers, is perfectly equipped for it. They have distinctive white spots on their back plumage, which helps them camouflage in the scrubby, rocky terrain of their mountain home. Alright, for our next bird, we're finally getting airborne! So far, our giants have all been land dwellers, but this one is one of the heaviest flying birds in the world. Say hello to the majestic Dalmatian pelican. The Dalmatian pelican can have a wingspan of up to 11 feet. That's wider than a king-sized bed, and they can weigh up to 33 pounds. That's a lot of bird to get off the ground, but once they are in the air, they are incredibly graceful. They often fly in synchronized flocks, soaring on thermal updrafts to conserve energy. And of course, there's that enormous bill and throat pouch, which can hold up to 3 gallons of water and, more importantly, a lot of fish. They are formidable hunters, often working together to herd fish into shallow waters. Sadly, this magnificent bird is facing threats. Drainage of wetlands and overfishing have led to a significant decline in their populations, and they are now considered a near-threatened species. Conservation efforts are underway to protect their habitats and ensure these gentle giants can continue to grace our skies. A truly awe-inspiring bird, both on the water and in the air. From the wetlands of Europe, we soar back to South America, to the very peaks of the Andes Mountains, to meet a bird that is the stuff of legends, the Andean Condor. This bird isn't just big, it's iconic. With a wingspan that can exceed 10 feet, it is one of the largest flying birds in the world. But what truly sets the condor apart is its mastery of flight. It's a glider, a true king of the air currents. Imagine this incredible bird perched on a high, rocky cliff. It doesn't flap its massive wings to take off. Instead, it waits for the perfect thermal updraft. Then, it simply spreads its wings and lets the rising air lift it into the sky. Once airborne, a condor can soar for hours, covering hundreds of miles without a single flap, using its keen eyesight to scan the ground below for carrion. The Andean condor holds deep cultural significance for many indigenous peoples of the Andes. It is often seen as a sacred animal, a spirit of the mountains that connects the earthly world with the heavens. In many myths and legends, the condor represents power, health, and liberty. It's featured in folklore, music, and is the national bird of several South American countries. This isn't just an animal, it's a living symbol of a continent's wild heart. Our next bird is one you might be familiar with, but I bet you didn't realize just how huge it can be. We're talking about the mute swan. We often associate swans with grace, elegance, and fairy tales, but they are also one of the heaviest flying birds on the planet, with some large males rivaling the Dalmatian pelican in weight. They are surprisingly powerful and can be quite formidable, especially when defending their nest. Mute swans are famous for being monogamous, often mating for life. You've probably seen the iconic image of 2 swans facing each other, their necks forming a perfect heart shape. It's a real behavior, part of their courtship ritual. Getting airborne is a real effort for a mute swan. They need a long runway, either on water or land, and you can hear the powerful thrumming of their wings as they work hard to take off. We have arrived at our final bird, and it is a creature of almost mythical proportions. It may not be the heaviest, but it holds the undisputed record for the largest wingspan of any living bird. Meet the incredible wandering albatross. This bird lives its life on the open ocean, primarily in the Southern Ocean around Antarctica, and its wingspan can reach an astonishing 12 feet. That is wider than most cars. It's almost hard to comprehend. This enormous wingspan makes the wandering albatross a master of the wind. They are the ultimate gliders. Using a technique called dynamic soaring, they can harness the wind's energy just above the waves to travel vast distances with almost no effort. They can circumnavigate the globe, flying for thousands and thousands of miles on a single foraging trip that can last for months. Some have been recorded flying for more than a year without ever touching land. Their life story is one of epic journeys and incredible endurance. Like swans, they form lifelong pair bonds, and their courtship involves an elaborate, beautiful dance with bill clacking, head shaking, and calls. The wandering albatross is more than just a bird with a huge wingspan. It is a symbol of endurance, freedom, and the wild, untamable spirit of the world's great oceans. A truly legendary creature to cap off our list of giants. And that's a wrap on our tour of the top 10 biggest birds on Earth. Wasn't that incredible? From the land-bound speed of the ostrich to the oceanic grace of the wandering albatross, each of these birds is a giant in its own right. It just goes to show you that the world is full of so much wonder. I feel like I've just been on a trip around the globe, and I hope you do too. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these giant birds was your favorite? Were you Team Cassowary with its built-in helmet, or maybe the dedicated dad, the greater Rhea, or perhaps the legendary Andean Condor? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed our journey today, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next adventure. Thanks again for watching. Be kind to one another, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody!